All right, so for today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the Lenox Compact Pipe Cutter. Now, this pipe cutter can cut from 1/8 inch all the way up to 1 1/8 inch. And it is compact, so the main reason why I like the compact pipe cutters over just a standard pipe cutter is when it comes to having to cut ACs free from the line set. These work really well whether you're outside or in a tight place. Generally, the larger pipe cutters, you're not going to be able to spin it all the way around outside around the line set because you're either going to hit the liquid side or the suction side line set. So these compact ones will go around there, and then you can spin it without having to, dig a hole underneath the line set before you go ahead and cut the copper. You can just put this guy on and spin it around the line set without having to worry about, will my handle go all the way around or am I going to hit the other line set that is next to it. So that is why I like these compact pipe cutters. Now this one is in Lenox's typical colors, which mainly their tools are in white, and they have a blue accent, and the logo is generally in red. Now, like I said, this guy can go from 1/8 inch all the way up to 3/8, and there is, in case you forget that, on the back of the tool it does tell you, and it also gives you, I believe that's the max in millimeters it can go. So that is a nice feature. Now, one thing about this tool is it doesn't have a quick blade change on it. You are going to either need a 1/4 inch slotted or a 3/16 slotted. 3/16 is probably the size you're going to want to use. 1/4 inch might be a tad bit too big, but it'll still work. To change that cutting disc. Now, when I originally bought this, you could get some replacement cutting discs at Lowe's. I believe it was either in a 1-pack or a 2-pack. If you needed to get some replacement blades, so that is nice. I'm not sure if other similar blades will fit in here. I've never really tried that and never really had to replace the blade, so I can't tell you if they are interchangeable. I would assume they're interchangeable, that the blades all come from probably the same manufacturer, but you never know, could be wrong on that part. So that is that. Now, I do like that it does feature this square, kind of this square design. It's got some texture on it to open and close the tool. I like that better than the one here on the Milwaukee. As you can see on the Milwaukee, it's kind of got this weird design to open and close the tool. I just like on the Lenox that you have more of a gripping surface. You don't really have to, just only use, a couple fingers there. You can use multiple fingers here if you wanted to open and close the tool. So I do like that feature there on the Lenox. And you got these nice rollers right there. Now, you do want to have your piece of copper sit, in between those two rollers to prevent the tool from dog walking and you having to, readjust and or remeasure and recut a piece of pipe. So right here I have some I believe it's just 3/8 copper right here. Should be your liquid line on the condenser. And I will show you how this guy cuts. So you just got to close this guy up quite a bit. Till you about can slide it in. So I'll open that guy up just a little bit more, and apparently that wasn't enough, so that should be enough right there. And you just put put the piece of copper in there, and then you slowly, or you can do it fast, you start to tighten down on the piece of copper, and then once you get it semi-tight, you obviously don't want it walking on you and or falling off the pipe, so you want to have a little bit of tension on it. You can spin it around. Now, generally when I do my first cut, I will spin it around a few times just to kind of get that groove in there, and then every time I go around, I make a full rotation, I will start to I will turn it a little bit to tighten up that cutting disc so it cuts deeper and deeper into the copper. So it's a fairly simple tool to use, and like I said, I like these compact ones over the standard larger pipe cutters. Now, to each their own. They do have their place. These compact ones are great, but they do have some limitations. But I'll go ahead and finish cutting this piece of copper here first, and then I'll go ahead and talk about some of those limitations that these are going to have. As you see right there, it'll cut right through that piece of copper without any issue. So that is, a plus. And it's, you know, pretty easy to use. Now, like I said, some of the limitations with these is when it comes to your larger pipe. These compact ones are great for, I would say, up to 7/8 copper, maybe a 1-inch hard copper. I don't think there's any 1-inch soft copper. I've never seen 1-inch soft copper for refrigeration. Generally goes from 7/8 and then jumps to your 1.125 inch. Now, 1-inch, it'll probably do 1-inch without an issue. It's when it comes to 1.125 the max that this compact cutter can do. The 1.125, at least for soft copper, I haven't tried it on hard copper, but with soft copper, you're gonna get dog walking. That's gonna happen a lot with the tool, and you're gonna struggle to cut it. And that's because that 1.125 copper, when you get it, it's all rolled up, and then you have to roll it out. And depending on where you're having it cut on that line set that you get, it might have been a spot that was, you know, folded or whatever, and have some sort of bend to it where it's not perfectly round. And that's kind of where this guy struggles. That's why I always recommend, if you're using 1.125, to just go ahead and get one of the larger style pipe cutters out. Not to say that this won't do it, you'll just struggle to get it to cut all the way around. That's something I have noticed. So that's pretty much one of the downsides about these little compact pipe cutters is, you know, they're going to have their limitations, but they're great for working in tight spaces. That's why I have, you know, quite a few of them, because you never know what you're going to be working with. Like I said, I like cutting line sets free and cutting condensers free with these. Use it either on the inside or the outside, depending on which one I'm doing. So that, you know, that's pretty much it for this pipe cutter. It's definitely a nice little pipe cutter. You can pick it up at Lowe's, or if you have one of the supply houses, whether it's a plumbing supply house or a heating and cooling supply house, you can pick these up if they do carry Lenox Tools. But with that being said, that's pretty much it for this video. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.